Yeah, I mean, like any other small city, smaller city than New York, like the years of me going to DC, the years of me going to Richmond, I'm like, oh, y'all local scene, every local scene, they're gonna have a crabs in a bucket mentality, even though in Long Island we have so much history and we right in the shadows of New York City. But I never felt like Long Island never got its just due. I felt like being in Long Island, you had a mentality of like, oh, because I'm from Long Island, they don't show me love. But that's usually because you're not leaving your hometown, or you're not trying to go find out what it feels like to not get a lot of love in a different room and be okay with that, and then figure out what rooms do show you love while still putting your city on your back. You can't stay where you're at and expect to really like put your town on if you just doing it in your town. You can do things and be involved in the community and do all that fly shit, but I feel like overall with like the local scene for Long Island now, people just got out more, became a fan of more stuff, you know what I'm saying? That's really what makes all the difference. But a lot of my first burn doing shows was in Amityville, so I felt like being there was like spiritual, because I'm like, man, De La Soul is from up the street. Even where I record at now at my man's studio in North Amityville, I'm like, this feels like I'm in like a hip hop, like the same way people talk about, oh, Queensbridge and then Jamaica Queens, St. Albans. I feel like Amityville for Long Island is that off of De La Soul and Prince Paul alone. You know what I mean? I don't know if Prince Paul is from Amityville though specifically, but I mean, I could put it like this. You got to enter a room where you might be hearing something that you don't like where someone is performing, venue, whatever. You might not be all the way into it, but you've seen all these people get all into it. There's people that know the words, and you got to know how to put your guard down before you're just like, this shit is whack. I don't like that shit. You heard 10 seconds of it. What do you know about it? And sometimes the same way people be like, oh, I went and saw a show. I wasn't a fan. And I saw it live and became a fan. Maybe it's not that direct thing of, oh, I saw it live and became a fan, but you got to see what people are into to even see for yourself what you could get into. A lot of people feel like they got their palette figured out and that's just who they are forever. Like there's no space to grow or learn anything or realize, oh, I like this genre a lot. I was never exposed to it. Now I'm going to shoegaze shows because I got exposed to it or whatever. I mean, beat making is easier in the sense that I could just go to the studio and make beats no matter what. I'll find something to sample, I'll make drums, I'll make a beat. Rapping is a little more feeding off the muse and the moment and whatnot, but the more experience I got, the more discipline I got. I feel like I could flip that switch now. Like I don't gotta be in the mood to rap. We go to the studio right now, I'll write something, it don't matter. Wake me up 8 a.m., let's go, I'm ready. 1 in the morning, I'm ready. It don't gotta be like, oh, I'm not in the mood right now, or whatever. That's how I kinda used to be, but it wasn't that it was a mood thing, I was just underprepared. Because I felt like my beats, I've been making music for about 12 years. I feel like my beats out the gate were like stronger than my raps out the gate, naturally. But the two were paired so well together and people love seeing me perform on my beats that I was just never associated more as one over the other. And now that my production is getting more credit and I'm getting more love off the beats, I put out an album that I feel like holds up with the fact that I'm not just a good producer. You might hear me produce on whoever's album that a lot of people are a fan of. You come back to my album and it's not that early Kanye effect of like, oh, the beats is fire, but we don't know about the rapping. That's cool, you got your little thing over there. Nah, it's more of like, oh shit, this is what else he has to offer that pairs well with the beats. And really, not a lot of people have really used my beats for as much fully produced by myself stuff that I have, you know? Yeah, absolutely. That's big bro for real, man. Like working with Ev too, I learned a lot about recording. I learned a lot about presentation, the business side of things. You know what I'm saying? I'm blessed to be in that corner under any circumstances. Like I'm just being able to pull up on him, and the first time I meet the guy is also the first time we record, and that's also the music we put out. That I just met you, you're down to have me pull up and work, but we record 2 things on a whim damn near, and you're looking at me like, yeah, we putting this out. So that's fire, that's super gratifying. Cause that's like, I go play beats with someone, I was with Rock a couple days before that playing beats for him in the studio, and now I'm with Evidence hearing beats to rap on, you know? Yeah, for sure, for sure. Definitely gave me a nice jump in followers, a jump in attention, and getting off my last vinyl release that I did online, I'm getting a lot of messages, a lot of inquiries, a lot more, you know, just more of everything, more attention, more messages, more show offers. I got an agent now too, maybe 4 or 5 months ago I got an agent. So I'm planning a tour now. And that would have all happened regardless. You know, this wasn't just some big plan that like, oh, Billy Woods album going to drop, and then I got the bonus track, and then the Earl album, well, the Evidence album, then the Earl album, then my album. That was like, for like a year, I didn't really know when everything was supposed to drop. It was going to be beginning of the spring, end of the summer, middle, for all three different things. And it just wound up kind of 1 week after the other. And by October, everyone's like, yo, you haven't quite a year. And I'm like, this has only been a month. Didn't even have the Undefeated pop-up yet. Had the Undefeated pop-up a month after putting out The Years We Have. So all of that, the combination of all those things, you know, Undefeated cosign, collaboration, Earl album, Evidence album, Woods album, and those are two of my favorite rappers, Earl Sweatshirt and Billy Woods, easily. So to be able to be working with my favorite rappers, opening for one of my favorite rappers consistently, Rock Marciano's had me open at least like 3 or 4 times for him at this point. You know, it's all a blessing. I'm honored, for real. I think it's just in the DNA of my rap style. You know, you find a way to express what you're trying to, you know, the depiction you're trying to make for people. You want to be larger than life. The punchline of the bar is like, what is my rapping like? It's just like Mitch Richmond's crossover. You know what I'm saying? And then stuff like that is just, I don't gotta do a lot of research to think of Mitch Richmond off top, you know? And it's a lot of the times it's what, when I'm writing, you know, you're looking at parts of words and letters, and then you're like, oh, if I put these letters together from this word, it makes Mitch Richmond's name, so the alliteration carries, and then, you know what I'm saying? So it's a combination of like the names that's just in my Rolodex of my mind. It's probably more basketball players than anything else. You know, my whole life being called stuff like Zenjamin Franklin, Jennifer Lopez, and then gladly that matured into stuff like Zen Griffey, Zenny Hardaway. When I thought of Zenny, no one called me Zenny Hardaway. I thought of that. And when I thought of that, I'm like, why no one ever called me that? It's right in front of my face. Zenny Hardaway, Zen Griffey. I'm like, y'all calling me Jennifer Lopez. This was my chance to really organize my thoughts around rhyming, as well as how I can present not only my best production, but the most appropriate production for my rapping, where it's also like, you know, you might not know what to expect. You know, you always gotta, you're gonna give the listener what they want in certain respects, but then you gotta give them what they're not expecting, and to be daring. Like a song like Sucker MC's Part 2, I know that's a different beat from what I'm usually doing, but that's my opportunity to tie it all in the right way, and I took my time, you know. That was the main thing too. Usually, you know, I'm dropping about a year apart, but it had maybe been 3 years since a solo release. So taking my time, doing things appropriately. I did a collaboration album before that with Zumo, Waste Management. So that was 2023, but I hadn't dropped a solo since 2022. And even those were shorter. 2021, I put out a 35-minute album called Xenophon. So it felt like 4 years since like a full like album, 2000 entertainment effort by myself. You know, full length, directly to vinyl, having the vinyl in hand, having the pop-up with vinyl in hand before putting it online, having the collab ready. There was a lot of things beyond the music too that took form. And even then, collaborative effort with an album cover. I'm usually doing all my own album covers. This was the most involved solo album of my own to date with other people, you know. Nate Simon on the mixing. I had Trevor Miller do the title card. I had the homie Steven do an animation for me for the banner, for the rollout. So, you know, and shout out to Alex on the cover. Just keep showing up, keep being a fan, and just keep creating enough that you don't feel like you're stagnant. You know, people hit me, what do I do about beat block? What do I do about writer's block? Give yourself a break. Live enough life that you stay inspired whenever you are in the studio. Don't get locked in the studio, driving yourself crazy, staring at a computer screen all the time.